There's some stuff been going on in the news this week, Chris.
Yes, there is. So the old FTC, man, they feel like a bit of a jilted lover.
They are
like
loving being the hall monitor.
Yeah, they just like they went through this bad breakup and it's like they just can't let go kind of thing is kind of what it feels like. They have come after Microsoft, and basically they're saying that they're filing I don't know if it's a lawsuit or it's like they're calling it an appeal, I guess, to the circuit who basically gave Microsoft the win. But they're saying that Game Pass's standard tier, which is changed over from Game Pass Core, or not Game Pass Core, what was it? It was Game Pass Console. They're calling it a degraded product because Game Pass won't be able to you won't be able to sign up for the $10.99 Game Pass Console that's completely going away, and that it no longer has day and date, and it's gotten a price increase in addition to the other tiers getting a price increase, which they contend is something that Microsoft said that they would not do any of those things. And so they're basically trying to be like, hey, this product is a degradation. They're removing valuable games from Microsoft's new service, combined with the price increase with existing users. It's exactly the sort of thing that we kind of said, this kind of thing's going to happen, and here it is actually happening. And so, as you might imagine, Xbox does not agree with that.
Yeah.
They came out and just basically said, look, this is not, you're kind of reinventing your case here now that we're post decision, and that there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, and that they think it's wrong to call it a degrade because now they're adding in multiplayer and stuff is now coming to Game Pass standard, which before Game Pass with console didn't have access to multiplayer. You had to buy a whole nother set or just buy Ultimate, which was the highest tier one. But with this one, you will still have Game Pass, like the full Game Pass, the whole 100 games library. And you will get the newer games. It'll just be after whatever some kind of cadence is. But in addition, you'll be getting access to multiplayer where you can play those games and you don't have to then also add on Game Pass Core or move up to Ultimate. So I don't know what's actually going to come of this. I mean, it is, there's been other people saying this and then kind of the FTC making murmurings before they actually filed this appeal. It was interesting because, for a long time now, people have been throwing out whenever something comes up or when a game is about to come out, they're like, oh, this got leaked in the FTC trial, all this stuff like that. Microsoft did say, we are not going to increase prices. And within, was it like less than 6 months of it going into effect, they raised prices. And I know that you could say like, oh, I understand that you could make a case for it, but it's like, then don't say that at a trial. Don't say we're not going to do the thing and then do the thing. I mean, you're kind of digging your own grave here, Microsoft. Now, I don't know what's actually going to happen with this or what can come of it, like from other than like a slap on the wrist, like, now Microsoft, you promised kind of thing. I don't really know, but it is one of those things where it's like, I mean, Microsoft, come on, you kind of put yourself in this position when you said something silly like, we're never going to raise prices. Yeah. Some point in the future, whether you got ABK or not, you were going to raise prices. Like that's just reality. So it's a bit of a silly situation that they kind of put themselves in. But I don't know that the FTC is really going to have any legs to stand on. I don't know. What did you think?
I just found it funny that they even brought it up, or they even like, are they going after cruise ships who say, hey, this package is a little bit more expensive now, but if you want to upgrade to a balcony, and just like, are they as diligently, watching every business out there that changes any kind of anything? It just felt really, you made the comparison of like a jilted lover. I was like, who used to work at Microsoft that's now at the FTC that is really mad at them still? Who got fired from Xbox? It just seems very personal.
I think that they were very much thought they were going to win. And when they didn't, which to be fair, I thought they were going to win too. I was like, it could go either way, but I feel like they've made a really good case. And so I thought it was like a 50-50 shot. And so when it didn't go that, it just seems like they haven't been able to let go. So there any chance they get the opportunity to go back at it over something, I think they're going to do it. And, and of course not that it's a totally unrelated issue, but it also didn't help that Microsoft basically is the computing platform of the world, and then they had a day where basically all their systems went down.
Yeah.
So it's just FTC, I think, just got it out for Microsoft in the terms of they're like, you know what? Y'all doing a bunch of bad stuff. And we're going to find a way to get you in one of these things.
Right.
And I think that's just what they're doing.
I feel like if you work in the gaming industry, at some point your company said you would or wouldn't do a thing, and then you ended up doing or not doing the thing. And just, I don't know, maybe not Nintendo, maybe there. But
I mean, that's why it's kind of surprising to me because I feel like overall Phil Spencer is really good at talking.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's a good interviewee and all that kinds of stuff. But the man has got himself in so much trouble for saying a thing when it's like, why are you saying it that way?
Yeah.
You don't know what the future is going to be. Like, you're probably going to have to go against that at some point. And then he ends up having to go against it. And he just looked like he's this huge waffler. And I'm like, maybe in his heart of heart, he's not. But it's like, but dude, then quit seeming eloquent, but then saying really silly things that you're just going to have to backtrack on later. Like, you're not helping yourself. So and granted, I don't like to I wouldn't want to be in that position. So I mean, I don't envy them, but I'm just like, my gosh, just leave everything ambiguous.
How much of that, do you think Phil Spencer from his higher ups is told a thing and he's like, yeah, this is the thing. And then he doesn't, and then someone above, is there someone above him that's changing things that didn't, I had a job
the
once.
CEO of Microsoft could be, the prevailing thought right now is that Microsoft proper is making the decision, basically just telling Xbox, you're going to do this, leadership go make this happen kind of thing.
Yeah. I worked somewhere at one time and there was a rumor going on and one of our clients called and said, hey, I heard this rumor about someone in your company. Is this true? And I went and talked to the head of the company. I was like, hey, this is what they said. And he said, no, that is not true. So I went back and said, no, it is not true. Years later, I found out it was true. And I still to this day feel horrible because I was like, oh man, I told that guy. He thinks I was the one. He thinks I'm Phil Spencer. So there's a little part of me that feels for him. Like maybe he genuinely thought it was true. I don't know. Maybe he did.
I mean, nobody likes to be bamboozled. I understand that. So, but